Hello, everyone. I hope y'all can hear me. This is just a quick download that I'm getting that's coming in that I wanted to be able to share with you. Now, for all of you, this may not resonate, okay? Because you have to understand and understand we live in different vibrational frequencies, so you can only attune in and listen to words that are on your frequency, whether it's higher or lower than mine. So everyone is not going to understand what it is that I'm saying, but it's probably because I got all these crystals around too. That's probably why I'm getting downloads. I got the card of free spirit, so they just telling me to go ahead and get to it, get to the message. Um, the download that I got, the first thing that I heard it clear, and I thought I had to double check with my guys. Like, did y'all just say what I think y'all said? So this is what I heard. We are the creator's creations, if that makes sense. Like, it goes down a couple different levels when it comes to soul evolution, when it comes to soul growth. So you can think of the creator's creations like the different type of goddesses and gods, those type of energies, La Muerte, Papa Legba, your Orisha. You can think of them on a second level. Those are the creator's creations. Those were the elevated human beings who didn't have access to half the things that we did now, so they had a stronger connection to their power. If you look in any of the history books, when you go back to the Aztecs, the Egyptians, the Mayans, even a lot of different African cultures, you can tell that they were highly educated, elevated, and wise. They created things that we as humans in this lifetime cannot figure out how to create. Like, we don't know how they made the pyramids. We don't know because we assume that they were people that were not as smart as us. We think that we are elevated human beings because we are in this era of technology where we have more, but we've lost our connection. They had a stronger connection, so they knew more. That's why you started having certain children of certain Orishas, certain children of certain deities to come down here and be able to participate in this event to have their soul grow. This is a very important transition that we're going through here this lifetime, because if you signed up to be here during the year of 2021, like, you signed up for some ish, because everyone signs a soul contract before they get here. So they run down your whole life in that chat. Like, they tell you all the details what's gonna happen to you, and you sign off on it. You sign off with the people that you're gonna encounter with. Some people sign it just so they can be down here with you. There's many kindred spirits that people are gonna start forming connections with, because you have to remember too, we're in the age of Aquarius, which is all about groups and collectives. So it's all about us coming back into our groups and collectives of where we connect by our crown chakras, by our deities, by the ones in which we come from. Now, this is going to be for the elevated beings. This is going to be for the people who are doing their work and improvement this lifetime to transition towards peace, love, and happiness, those higher vibrations. So if you've been doing your work, doing your shadow work, clearing out traumas, and really on the path towards your healing and your goals, and you've let some of the lower vibrational energies that you picked up on your different challenges and obstacles through this lifetime, then you're going to be one of the ones who are getting the new regrouping. The ones you like, it's going to be people, and they're going to move to a whole completely different country, completely different side of the world, because they're going to be guided towards their collective. So we're coming together as different collectives at this time. And with that being said, certain events are going to take place for that to happen, and those events may not be as easy as what I want to tell y'all, because what they're showing me looks it's gonna be a little rough, it's gonna be a little bit rough within the next 5 years here on this planet, because we also have a lot of cycles that have to coexist. Like, life and death is a cycle, and every planet comes with the amount of people it can have on it. We've clearly exceeded the limit, and that's why Mother Nature does things to balance out the energies here on our planet. Corona, the locusts, different ways to kind of the vaccine, whatever you want to call it, different ways to get people out of here. Basically, the people who didn't sign up for this, they gotta go, so they being ruled out. So you kind of gotta expect more of that, and people have to transition appropriately. So you have to think of it as literally a class. This is a school. That's the best way I could put it. Earth is a school. We're here to learn. We're here to learn how to be able to tap into our natural abilities and instincts and our connection with the creator and the source. Basically, it's like when you get to that level of the game where you gotta defeat the big boss. This is the big boss. Earth is the big boss. That's why this incarnation is so challenging. People can literally go through the same lessons 10 times. Out of all the lifetimes that we have to live, people can literally come back here and have to learn the same shit because they didn't get it. So this is what we're dealing with here. This is what we're dealing with. And a lot of you guys have been called to break generational karma so you guys can stop going through the same thing and having to learn those hard lessons over and over again. Especially if you are of any African American, Native American, Indian, tribal, Hispanic descent. Even European, because we gotta understand European people still have generational traumas. And from what I've noticed, the most way that it hits them is mentally. You can tell that they're mentally unstable. And it goes down the line mentally, like serial killers, mass murderers, like something wrong with them. These things come from generational curses that could have been placed upon us by our ancestors making a wrong action or choice. What they did has a big effect on what we do here. That's why we're here to clear those things out so our lineages can accelerate, especially the ones of us who came from hierarchy or high elevated ancestors or gods and goddesses. Start getting in tune with what you have inside of your DNA. Start building your connection with your ancestors so they can tell you where you come from and you can tap into that. Because right now we're on a planet where a lot of the stronger feminine deities are about to take over. Because obviously the masculine deities who have been in control have not been able to create an environment in which that balance is able to provide for our needs. Because this is supposed to be a planet where we enjoy ourselves. Not only learn lessons, but enjoy ourselves. But there's certain entities that have been conjured up from the free will of men. Like slavery. Slavery is an entity that they created with the amount of emotion that they put in. You have to understand that you create your thoughts. So the amount of emotions you put towards a certain thought has to manifest, especially if you feel very strongly about it, whether it's bad or good. So you have to understand what your thoughts are creating in your universe, because you are stronger than you think. A lot of you guys don't understand that you have the ability to manifest so easily and quickly, whether it's good or bad. That's why you gotta pay attention to your thoughts, because it will come. Hi, Mallory. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Keith. The thoughts that you are having are going to begin to manifest faster, because what y'all don't realize is we are still in this time period where we're shifting into the 5D. And as we continue to do that, lower level energies are having to figure out what they can do to feed them. All right. So negative energy feeds off of negative energy. So if you have a negative entity that's created, it has to have energy fed off of it. How do I explain this? Okay, so us as humans, we need food to live. Now, certain entities, they need energy to live. That's why we have energy vampires. Narcissists. You know how narcissists be energy vampires? Like, you can't even really argue with a narcissist because it takes so much energy just to argue with this person, because they sucking you dry the whole time and trying to manipulate you. So that is something that can kind of cause you not to be in your highest self, if that makes sense. Like I said, some people is not going to understand what the heck I'm saying. Like, this is not going to sound like English to some people. It's all about the frequency, the vibration that you vibrate on. And if you vibrate on a similar level to me, then you can understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, you could be higher or you could be lower. And it might be time for you to learn from your own ancestors. You need to be able to trust what's in your lineage, just like people was able to trust and believe in Jesus and God because this was the religion that man had created. You have to believe in who came before you. You know they was there. Some of y'all have the opportunity to even meet certain ancestors or the reincarnation of them. Imagine how many times your family has to go through certain traumas in order for them to realize what's going on. You know, imagine the lineages of the fallen kings like Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the richest African ever. Pretty much, okay? He had money. But his son was sold into slavery. Came down here. So a whole prince in America as a slave. Now, when they continue to create children, and you have all of the greatness that you once had, like in the palm of your hands, being of royal blood, they came down here and they stripped every part of that from you. They basically took what energy you had or what faith you had in your source and made you think of something else so that you could live. They put you in your lower chakras. They put you in your root chakra to where all you could do is be in fear, worry, anxiety, not having stability, not having security, not knowing where your next meal gonna come from, always in fight or flight mode. That's why a lot of black males are aggressive, because you have to realize during slavery, this is a mentality that they placed upon them. Certain traumas are utilized to create a long-lasting effect on a whole section or generation. Because if they did that, how could y'all wake up? How could y'all possibly wake up if they continue to put you through so many traumas? And what they do is every time you kind of start to come out of your spell, they kill somebody again. In case y'all haven't noticed, like George Floyd, right when we think that we're safe or we're okay, they do something to trigger your memory. So you can feel those same, you go back to sleep. Basically, you go back to sleep because you're in your lower chakras. Fear, anxiety, worry. Some of us have elevated past that into our sacral chakra because we are creating. We're creators. Everything you create comes from that sacral chakra, especially if you're a woman. The sacral chakra is a womb. That's where your womb space is. So women have even more of the ability to manifest. You just have to be able to utilize that energy. That's why people so mad at transgender men or whatever. But look, some of those people, hermaphrodite, it's all type of people now. So y'all just gotta get used to it. They been here. It ain't nothing new. People been had these type of deformity situations for long as humans been here. So like, I don't really know why people be so mad. Because when certain energies like the Anunnaki and other entities that were down here, they used to have a whole bunch of oral freaky stuff. If you ever look at the Greek gods, they used to have sex with their kid, like all type of. I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying you got to look at where these gods came from. You know, what kind of stuff they was doing. Especially if you go back and you look at Odin, the Norse mythology, because the North tradition is one of the oldest on the planet. Norse is they go back. So we have to realize people are breaking free from religion because religion keeps you in a box, and they're putting you into spirituality so you can find out where your source is, who your creator is, where you come from. Everybody comes from different things. That's why nothing makes sense when it comes to religion, because they're trying to put you in a box. However, you do have some very highly devoted spiritualists, preachers, and priests who have that hand of the creator. But you gotta realize that the creator, the source energy that they're tapping into, was created by man. Man came up with the word God. You think God just really came from the sky? It was like, hey y'all could just call me God, and it's cool. Y'all could ask me for what y'all want, and my name is God. Like, do you think a voice just came from the sky and was saying that? No, we made that word up. They made it up. But it's up to us to either take on that challenge and find out where our roots come from, who we connect to, and what you connect to cannot be looked at as good or bad. You have to realize that good and bad is always going to exist. It's always going to have to be polarity. It's always going to have to be duality. There's always going to be that other aspect, because that's what creates the balance. The yin and the yang energy is black and white. You have to have both of those things to coexist with each other to create. So, with that being said, we're going to start seeing the movement of people being confused about their sexuality and their energy, because we're moving from that root chakra, because we're elevating as a planet. So we have to shift with the planet or get up out of here, period. That's what it's going to be. That's why I'm saying people still going to be dropping like flies, because a lot of y'all ain't meant to go into this shift. A lot of y'all have been vibrating at such a low frequency that you got to go to a planet like Pluto, probably with a lower frequency, so you can learn your lesson there. This that transition. We about to see who go to high school and who get held back in middle school. It's going to be more things. So don't let the way you thought things or people have to be, not be open-minded. Because I'm telling y'all, like, if y'all thought that Lil Nas video was weird, y'all going to really think what else come next. It's going to be very strange to y'all, because this is not going to stop. Like, more and more people finna come out, and they're gonna start individualizing themselves. Even if you look at Lil Nas's video, you see that there's a spiritual aspect, because in the beginning, he was basically ruled by the devil, which is the shadow aspect. Remember when I was saying there's duality, and duality exists inside of all of us? So there's a good and bad inside of us. The bad was created by the obstacles and challenges that we had to go through, and some of the feelings and emotions that we may have pushed to the back burner. Repressed anger, generational curses, that is what created the shadow aspect of us. So we have to come to terms with that aspect and transmute the energy, because you can't destroy the shadow self. You can transmute it and you can integrate it. You can become a better person by allowing both of those sides of you to be utilized when they need to be. Because sometimes we need to have our root chakra energy. We need to vibrate at that lower frequency of fear. Because fear can sometimes keep us alive. So if we have no fear, that could keep us from doing or making decisions that might not be right for us. Fear is also a bit of the intuition. It's that discernment. Not being too fearful that we're not willing to risk trying new things. But having the aspect of fear so that we know when we should not do something. If that makes sense. Or we know when we need to be warned about something. Another thing that we're probably going to be seeing is the rise of the divine feminine energy. So a lot of females who have been doing their work as far as healing and trying to look towards being a better person, creating a better vision for ourselves, you're going to start to benefit from your actions and your creations. You're going to start creating your own practices. You're about to co-create with other females. Like, you're going to start seeing the rise of a lot of ethnic owned businesses from females coming together from different countries all over the world. Like, you're going to start seeing female groups. It could probably even be more female singing groups coming out, or more female singing groups becoming popular. We're on the rise of the divine feminine energy at this time. Y'all might see something crazy like the next president will be a woman president, or something happened to Joe and Kamala had to step up to the plate. We're literally in the time where the divine feminine is going to rise again, but like I said, there's always duality, because you have the rise of the divine feminine, but the divine feminine is also Lilith energy. So I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with Lilith, but Lilith is a dark goddess who is very much so into her sexual nature, and she uses her sexuality to get men to listen to her so that they can do damage. Basically, she's like a leader. She was a leader of a male army. She reincarnated here a couple different times and built underground societies where she was in charge of all men. You got that Oya energy, where Oya was a African goddess who fought in wars alongside Shango, fought in wars alongside men. So you have that masculine feminine energy arising, which kind of is going to bring in a lot of that transgenderish energy too. You know, nothing against them. I'm just telling y'all, these are different energies. So this is what's on the rise. That masculine feminine energy. Even the children of Oya, or the children of Oshun. Because Oshun is a warrior African goddess deity as well. And she had that warrior ability to fight alongside men too. So you're going to have these stronger divine feminines coming out to take over, basically. Like, people finna start signing things away to women. They don't even know why. People are going to start building a respect towards women that they did not have before. And women are going to be needing to take more risk. Like, if you're a woman and you listen to this and you start getting opportunities at your doorstep, new things you can do, new endeavors, new new situations, you want to move, like different things that are coming to improve your life, you have to be willing to take some of those risks, even though it sounds crazy. Use your discernment and your intuition and to create. Start manifesting the things that you want, and know that you can do that, and hold strong and firm in that thought. Trust it. I keep getting this Queen of Wands energy, and that's all about creating. And divine feminine energy. And that's Oshun energy too. Alright, you guys. I just had to get that download out. It just came through so fast. But I'm actually glad to hear that message. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well in case anyone wants to replay it. Thank you all. Have a great night.